Back here on MLB Now, Brian Kenny with Sean Casey, Yonder Alonso, and Tom Verducci. We have breaking news. This is like, you're right, guy. We're talking during the break. This shades of the late 80s. Mid-season managerial replacement. Derek Shelton fired by the Pirates, relieved of duties, officially as they say. Their bench coach, Don Kelly, has been named manager. Shelton in his 6th year. He was the Twins bench coach before this. He was a Rays coach before that. They're 12-26 this year. I have a case I told you, they're 306 and 440. That's Derek Shelton's record. I have trouble assessing him personally, that record, because this is not just his doing. It's an obvious rebuilding situation. But you tell me your reaction. 6th year for Shelton.
Derek Shelton's in a no-win situation there. You know, I really believe it. At this stage, when you look at the numbers, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you know, the organization's got to be better at this point. As far as, you know, Derek Shelton, you know, what he's throwing out there, he's given what he has. Listen, they haven't signed a multi-year free agent since Ivan Nova at a 3-year, $26 million contract back in 2017. I just feel like Derek Shelton, I know Shelton very well. He was always been a great hitting coach for many years. He was a bench coach out there for the Twins. He's a great manager, and I just feel like his hands were tied for the whole time he was here. His hands were tied with what he was given.
And yet there is some underperformance, and on our unbaseball plays, Pirates have shown up quite a bit. What do you make of this, Tom?
It's surprising because of what you just said. It seems like a move out of the 80s. We see teams, we've seen it already this year, change hitting coaches, and that's obviously their problem. We knew that going in. All winter long, we said, why are the Pirates not addressing their offense? They have all this really good young pitching. This is before Jared Jones went down. Why don't they do something offensively to support this group? And they did really essentially very little. I mean, Tommy Pham on a 1-year deal. And they're actually even worse than we thought. So 7-game losing streak, they scored 12 runs, they're hitting rock bottom again. He's in his 6th year. It's surprising from that extent, like, what are you accomplishing now by changing the manager? Maybe there's something philosophically about your hitting program that needs to be addressed, but the manager, what are you trying to address here?
You know, I would say, like, O'Neal Cruz is having a good offensive year. The O'Neal Cruz to center field situation was not a good look early on. And I'm not watching him pitch by pitch, day by day. So I don't say that. What I've seen is, like, something needs to change here. You went on that, or where are you?
I think longevity is the right call. I will say, though, the injuries for these young players and the draftees, they really haven't hit on. When we talk about offensive players, I think pitching-wise, they've done okay. But you're right. The roster that he's had for the past 5 years is just unwinnable. And you're going to see all these prospects that they have in the Pirates, and you compare them around the league with the Padres guys and the Cubs and the Reds. These guys are getting better and better every single year. That hasn't really happened in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, they have, you know, Brian Hayes hasn't blossomed offensively. He's a very good defensive player. Up the middle now, they have Adam Frazier and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Those are not guys who would be starting in other places. I remember talking to Ben Cherington, general manager of the Pirates, at the start of last year. So now we're almost like 2 seasons back, and I thought, this is happening now. Case, it looked like it was starting to happen for Pittsburgh. Why hasn't it happened?
No, it did. You know, I think they missed. You know, nothing against Henry Davis, but 1-1. You know, you get 1-1, you got to nail that. And I think they missed with Henry Davis being a 1-1 there. I think they've obviously getting Skeens. Listen, that rotation is legit. Skeens, Jared Jones is down right now, but Mitch Keller, they got Bubba Chandler coming. They have some real arms that are coming. And to Tom's point of, hey, listen, they know now they have the arms are here. Where's the offense? And I think at some point, I think also too, maybe they felt burned on the Chris Archer deal a few years ago. They have the prospects to trade to go get maybe some frontline bats, and they haven't been able to do that either.
Yeah, it's never happened there was a glimpse of Skeens, Jones. This is going to be awesome. Front-end rotation. You don't want to face them in a wild card. That just hasn't happened with Jones getting hurt.
Yeah, I mean, Jones is a 5'10" right-hander who throws 98, 99. That's always going to be dicey, straight over the top in terms of having him be a 30-start guy, 180-inning guy in the big leagues. Chandler, I like. You know, he's coming, and you'll probably see him soon, maybe within a month or so. So I still like their foundation of pitching. But again, you made a good point, Case, about some of these guys here. The Brian Hayes is Jack Sawinski's, I thought, should be a better hitter than he's been on the big league level. Continuing to develop guys when they're in the major leagues, very important part of today's game. And the Pirates haven't done that with some high picks, but some guys who have a high ceiling just haven't reached that ceiling offensively for whatever reason. I'm not sure that's on the manager, but I will say I like Don Kelly a lot. Smart baseball guy, you know, learned a lot under Jim Leland. Mount Lebanon guy, a local guy in Pittsburgh. I'm not sure whether he's a long-term answer, but he's a teacher, and I think that's what that team needs right now.
What do you make of Kelly? Yeah.
Love Donnie Kelly.
him.
Know Donnie very well. He was great. If you go back to the years with the Tigers, with Leland, he had a great postseason back a few years back. Donnie Kelly's great. He's a real baseball guy. I was with him down with the Pirates down in spring training. Man, he really ran a great spring training. He's on top. I think Kelly's going to do a great job as the manager.
All right, then we have the breaking news today. Again, this doesn't happen that much in this day and age. Usually there's a lot more stability. The manager is not assessed blame often for a poor start, but the Pirates firing Derek Shelton, their manager, just moments ago.